Let me just start out by agreeing with most people that on paper and initially, this car comes to us as sort of a wash. Let's go over some of the facts as to why many feel this way. It's lacking true Toyota roots. That is very important for a halo sports car, where in most instances, such cars are used to showcase the company's prowess. Yes, they gave us the LFA, but that was unobtainable for most, and even then was still highly limited, and it's no longer around. Lexus has the RCF, and even the LC500, both of which in theory would have made great platforms for the new Toyota Supra. Yet, they chose to work with BMW. Well, actually, BMW chose to work with them. And that brings us to where we are today. So, we know they chose to work together for various reasons. Let's take a look deeper at the legacy and history of both automakers. It may give us a glimpse of what lies underneath the skin. Toyota is known for their reliability, more than anything else. BMW is known for their driving dynamics, the ultimate driving experience. Toyota has a history of producing some of the most coveted sports cars of their time, albeit BMW does as well in their own right. Toyota has a history of heavily overbuilding and over-engineering their cars and parts. This has led to the bulletproof reliability we all know and love, and even lays the groundwork for high-potential, intentionally dormant cars. For example, Toyota currently makes a 3.5-liter V6 engine that can produce upwards of 300 horsepower naturally aspirated. Now, this engine makes its way into many cars, including the go-to community car for many, the Blend Camry. This very same engine, and a Roots blower slapped on top, makes a glorious 400 horsepower and can be found in the high-performing Lotus Evora 400. I know what you're thinking. This doesn't help the case any better for Toyota for choosing a German engine, but let's keep going. Ironically enough, there's a similar sports coupe to the Supra that was offered at the same time, yet is still offered today. This car came with an inline six, made anywhere from 192 to 430 horsepower throughout the life range, offered in two doors, its rear-wheel drive, offered with a manual option, and were at some point closely priced as well. Can you guess what it is? That's right, none other than the BMW M3. From the start, these two have been very closely related, although very rarely cross-referenced or cross-shopped, with the modern M3 even coming with a factory turbo inline six. When you look at the history, it makes sense why Toyota chose to go this route with BMW. BMW has been doing this very same recipe for a very long time, both competing alongside Toyota and even after the fact. They've remained successful with this recipe, where Toyota did not. Every successful entrepreneur and or businessman will tell you the same. Play to your strengths and team up with others whose strengths lie in your weakness. Toyota is the best at building reliable, affordable, yet fun to drive cars. No one will argue that. BMW builds some of the best driving and performing cars. Plenty of auto journalists and professional drivers will tell you that. So what happens when you merge the best of both worlds? You get the new GR Supra and the new BMW Z4. We know BMW can build tough, tunable engines. There are plenty of high horsepower M3s, 335i's, and 135i's around to demonstrate that point. I mean, heck, just look at Adam LZ's 700 horsepower 335i. What they lack typically is reliability. That's where Toyota steps in. We know that Toyota's main job in this venture was supervision. There are many accounts of Toyota engineers going extra lengths in testing every BMW component to make sure that they are up to the reliability standards Toyota is known for, to the extent that it began to cause some tension between the two engineering teams. Finally, a car that by all accounts shouldn't even really exist. In a world where more and more people and governments are clamoring for environmental change, where autonomous and full EV vehicles are becoming more and more efficient and affordable, two automakers who, at first glance, one would think would be at odds with one another, came together to bring us a car that we've been asking for. It may not have come how we wanted. It may not have come how we thought. It may not look exactly how we would like it to look, but it still looks pretty good. And plus, the aftermarket's going to fix that anyway. While most are in agreement, myself included, that we would love to see more Toyota in its bones, we must trust the Toyota in its blood will carry over enough. Now, there is something to be said about a car that costs $50,000 being offered with 335 horsepower when there are plenty of cars that cost less that are also offered with 337 horsepower, 380 horsepower, 414 horsepower, 400 horsepower, and so forth. This is where we must give the Big T the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they are betting on us tuning it and figured it'd be best to keep it docile and balanced, reliable right out of the box. Maybe they're only saying it makes 335 horsepower when it could actually make a lot more. We've seen them do this before. Maybe they're just waiting to release a high-performance trim model. Who knows? One thing is for sure. The world remains to see. The world is watching. If you found this video entertaining or helpful, please leave us a comment or share it with a friend. Anything helps. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and we're going to catch you guys next time. Thanks again for watching. Remember to go out there and do something awesome. Peace.